Hi, this is James Frey with Alberta Health Services. We're with student dietitian Jasmine Sharunas to talk about healthy eating on a budget. But before we get talking about grains, we're going to talk about dispelling some myths about eating on a budget.
Yeah, so I just want to go over a few general tips that you can follow to save a little bit of money when you're grocery shopping while still sticking to those healthier options. So some of the things you can do, for example, are shopping the perimeter of the grocery store. Things like the produce, the grains, all the fresh dairy, and all the fresh meats are all found in the perimeter of the grocery store. And a lot of those things are less processed, so they can save you some money. The processed foods add cost to the companies that are making them, and then that cost is then provided to the consumer. So it's important to kind of try and stick to the minimal processed foods, and these are also the healthier options. Some other things you can do are take a look in the grocery store flyer, because there can be some great deals in there that you can follow and kind of try and stick to those. Make a list when you're shopping and stick to it. Buy things that are non-perishable in bulk, and then that way you have a lot of it and it may be cheaper.
So Jasmine, talking about grains, obviously we can talk about bread. So what can you tell me about this loaf of bread?
So when you're thinking about bread, it's important to think about what the actual store brand is versus the national brand. Using the store brand can save you a lot. For example, on this loaf, you save at least $2 by buying the store brand, which is great. Another thing is try to opt for the whole wheat or whole grain options, because they usually cost the same as the white and you're getting all those additional nutrients. Canada's Food Guide actually recommends that 50% of your grain products are whole grains.
When we talk about grains, we can't not talk about oatmeal.
Right, oatmeal is a great breakfast food. It's full of fiber and a lot of nutrients. When you're looking for oatmeal, something to consider is a bag like this of unprocessed oats is only 12 cents per serving, whereas a box like this of the pre-made ones is 42 cents per serving. So that's a pretty significant amount of savings that you're making with this bigger bag. Another thing is these are quite a bit healthier because they don't have any sugar or salt added. Something like this in one package, there's 190 milligrams of sodium added to it, whereas this has 0. You can add your own fruit and spices and that kind of thing to make it taste however you want too, which is great.
So Jasmine, when we're talking about grains, we can also talk about snack foods.
Yeah, so I think when a lot of people are looking for snacks, they tend to opt for things like chips and crackers. Whereas something as easy as popcorn, you can get 1 kilogram of it for the same price as a bag of chips, but this bag of popcorn will make 160 cups of popcorn. Popcorn is also considered a whole grain, and 2.5 cups is considered a serving of Canada's Food Guide for grain products.
So Jasmine, let's talk about rice.
Rice is a great way to get a whole grain from Canada's Food Guide. So choosing brown rice as a whole grain, choosing bigger bags of rice like this versus smaller processed bags actually saves you money. So something like this is $4, where something like this is $3, and you're getting, way smaller amount. This is probably good for one meal, whereas this will last you way longer.
Now, larger bags are also an affordable option, right?
Right, so larger bags actually save the companies a lot of money on packaging, and these savings are then passed on to the consumer.
Thanks very much, Jasmine. This has been some great information on us. Is there any final things that people need to be aware of?
I think it's just really important to remember that 50% of your grain products should be whole grain, as recommended by Canada's Food Guide.
Okay, great. Now, thanks very much for joining us. Join us again next week when we have another segment on healthy eating on a budget.